Welcome to The Explainer. Listen, in the world of cybersecurity, the rulebook just got thrown out. Today, we're going to break down a brand new report that shows why the old ways of defending ourselves just aren't cutting it anymore, and what the bad guys' new playbook really looks like.
So, this brings us to a really crucial question for all of us, really. From huge companies right down to you and me. Are your cyber defenses actually keeping up with how fast the attackers are moving?
Because here's the honest truth, and it's a bit of a wake-up call. The 2025 Threat-Led Defense Report from Tidal Cyber makes it crystal clear. Our security coverage is falling way, way behind how attackers actually behave. And it's not just about them getting fancy new tools. Nope, they're changing their entire game plan.
Okay, so you're probably asking, how exactly have they upgraded? What's new? Well, let's dive into two massive shifts in their arsenal, starting with the big guns, the weapons that used to be super exclusive. You know, it used to be that a zero-day exploit, that's a hack for a flaw that literally no one, not even the people who made the software, knows about yet, that was the kind of thing you'd only see in a spy movie. We're talking military-grade superweapons. But now, it's a whole different world. They're basically off-the-shelf products now, available to all sorts of criminal groups, and they spread like wildfire.
And the scale of this change is just wow. The report connects over 58 different threat objects just to zero-day use. Think about what that means. The time defenders have to react has been crushed from weeks or months down to just days, or sometimes even hours. That is an insane shift.
At the same time, it's not all high-tech weaponry. Attackers are dusting off an old classic, a really time-tested technique. They're going back to basics, but with a seriously scary modern twist that makes it more effective than ever.
And this really shows why it's so dangerous. They're using AI and automation to put phishing and voice attacks on steroids. Forget about those old emails with bad spelling and grammar. We're now talking about attacks that are incredibly believable, totally personalized, and can be sent out on a massive scale. And they're designed to sneak right past our usual defenses.
But it isn't just about the tools, new or old. Attackers are also just getting smarter. They're repurposing old threats with some pretty clever new tricks. They are adapting on the fly.
Just take a look at these well-known groups. Void Rabisu, they're not just a ransomware gang anymore. Now they're in the espionage business. Scattered Spider has totally changed its targets, going after the very software platforms that businesses run on every day, things like Salesforce, Teams, and Slack. And then you've got Akira, which is just making these tiny, subtle changes to its methods to fly right under the radar.
And the ransomware world itself is completely different. It's not dominated by a few big, scary monsters anymore. It's more like a swarm of angry hornets. Lots of smaller, faster, more agile groups. The report found 16 new ransomware groups popped up in 2025 alone. And get this, these newcomers are responsible for most of the attacks.
And these new groups are also changing their tactics. It's not just about encrypting your files anymore. Now they're using something called triple extortion. First, they lock your data. Then, they threaten to leak it all online. And for the final punch, they go after your backups, your cloud accounts, and your identity systems, just to apply the absolute maximum pressure, so you have no choice but to pay.
So, when you put this all together, the new tools, the evolving groups, these new extortion tactics, it all points to one big underlying problem in how we've been approaching security. The report calls this the coverage gap at the procedure level. Let me put it this way. Imagine your security system is trained to spot a specific kind of lockpick, but it completely misses the attack if the burglar uses that same lockpick in a slightly different way. That's what's happening. Our defenses are failing because they're watching for what attackers use, not how they use it.
As Rick Gordon, the CEO of Tidal Cyber, puts it so well, the new measure of a strong defense isn't about collecting malware signatures anymore. It's about understanding and being able to stop adversary behaviors, the specific steps and procedures they follow.
Which leaves us all with one final, crucial thought. In this new era of cyber threats, true security isn't about building a higher wall. It's about understanding the person trying to climb it. So you have to ask yourself, is your security just watching for signatures, or is it actually watching for behavior?